מותו של אבא שלי החזיר אותי לכפור של החורף האנגלי המוכר לי מילדות. כולנו התאבלנו, אבל נראה היה שאחי ניסר במיוחד. אומרים שאת הסודות לוקחים לקבר, אבל מסתבר שאבא שלי השאיר קצת מאחור.
The suitcase of letters, do you know about it?
No.
He has a suitcase of letters, and it was all the letters that were exchanged between him and his parents once he had left home and until they were no longer able to communicate. And there was just this knowledge that stuck up there in the loft was this suitcase of letters that could never be opened.
Oh my God, I don't know what's in here.
And that's Jacob and Amalia.
Yes.
That's his parents.
And that's Dad.
You think so?
Yeah. Meine Liebe, Jürgen.
Mama und Papa.
Eindhoven, 1939.
כל חייו הסתיר אבא את המזוודה עם זיכרונות ילדותו. מכתבים, מסמכים, תמונות ויומנים, והכל בגרמנית. פניתי מיד למנואל, חבר ילדות, למעשה החבר הכי טוב שלי עד היום, לנצל לראשונה את המוצא הגרמני שלו.
So this is a matter of a couple of weeks before they're deported from Westerbork to Auschwitz.
Falls verreisen, in case we have to move, please write to Johann Hermann.
That is actually the last communication that he receives from them.
Only about 2 or 3 weeks before Robert's phone call, I read an article in The Guardian about Veit Harlan, who was my great-uncle. I had long not heard this name or thought about him, except for one other occasion. Rana had decided to change her name to Harlan. Somebody said, "You know what that name is, don't you?" She said, "No." And she said, "Is your husband a relation of Veit Harlan, the Nazi filmmaker?"
אבא לא הסכים לנהוג ברכב גרמני, ולעולם לא הרשה להכניס הביתה מוצרים גרמנים. איך ייתכן שהחבר הכי קרוב שלי, בן בית של ממש לאורך כל חיי, חושף לפתע שהוא קרוב משפחתו של וייט הרלן, הבמאי הנאצי הנודע לשמצה של היהודי זיס, סרט התעמולה שנחשב כהכנת הקרקע לפתרון הסופי. תמיד הרצנו את מנואל על קרבתו לבמאי סטנלי קובריק. נחוש ללמוד יותר לסודות המשפחתיים שלו, מנואל לוקח אותי לבקר את דודתו, קריסטיאנה, אלמנתו של קובריק, שהיא גם, מסתבר, האחיינית האהובה של וייט הרלן.
Do you have any recollection of Veit?
Oh, yeah, I loved him. He was my father's closest brother. He was a great comedian. I loved him very much, even though I did by then really know how guilty he was. But then I think most German families were used to loving somebody who wasn't at all lovable.
I hadn't realized actually quite how big a name the name Harlan, my surname, was. And actually almost, and how much vitriol and hatred there was directed towards him.
Harlan is not a very common name in Germany. I couldn't get a job with the Harlan name.
You couldn't get a job?
No, I had his name. I wasn't ashamed of it. I was scared to have it. It's much worse than, I mean, I hadn't done anything, but I certainly knew I wouldn't get a job. All the family, my father couldn't, he was always singing on the radio and suddenly he couldn't. We are marked. You know, you might as well write shit on your forehead.
At what point did you tell Stanley what your original surname was?
At the very beginning. I thought, oh boy, I have to tell everything.
And what was his reaction?
He just said, Jesus Christ, you know, just...
How does it happen? Because I ask myself, if I'd been alive at that time, what would I have done? How does it happen that you make this bargain? It's like, almost like a Faustian.
With the devil.
So how you make this bargain with the devil and how you slip into this.
Stanley wanted to make a film about that. He wanted to make a film about the Veit Harlan problem. He was terribly aware that it mustn't give the other person power. And I think that frightened him more than anything. How would you behave? At what point did you know? At what point did you get it? At what point did you actually become guilty and take the first step? and know you're guilty. And then are you brave enough to withdraw, or have you left it too late? Those who suddenly got the message and realized what they were used for committed suicide. I think many of them, including Veit, I sometimes suspected that they really didn't like Jews.
Oh my God.
What happened?
The first entry on the search for Zimmerstrasse 48
Yeah.
has got my father's name.
What?
It says Edgar Lax,
So show me.
Axel Springer. There's some website here, and that the first row on that is my father's
How did I
name.
know how did I know Edgar Lax?
All I did is put in the address.
Axel Springer Neubers. Axel Springer is like News International of Germany.
But why is my father's
It's like
name there?
I don't know. Edgar Lax experienced the Pogromnacht as a 15-year-old in 48B Zimmerstrasse.
How on earth
In an interview with the Imperial War Museum in London, he described how his family, terrified in their flat, saw through this night.
Okay.
He was the only one out of his family who survived.
אבא מעולם לא שיתף אותי בדבר ממה שעבר עליו בילדותו בברלין. פתאום מסתבר שקיימות הקלטות בהן אוכל לשמוע את אבי, לאחר מותו, מספר בקולו את הסיפור שמעולם לא סיפר לי.
So this is it?
This is the Axel Springer
Neubau.
This says Zimmerstrasse 28 to 32. So this is Zimmerstrasse 48A.
Would have been right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where were you at the time of Kristallnacht?
Oh, yes. Yes, that I very clearly remember. And that was a frightening time because our local synagogue was around the corner. We lived on the 4th floor of a block of flats. And we must have been aware of masses of people crowding around the street. We moved some wardrobes against the front door. That sticks quite clearly in my mind.
Unimaginable.
אני מנסה לדמיין את אבי כנער, מביט למטה בפרעות כאן בברלין, הוא פשוט לא מצליח. אני מחפש דרך ליצור קשר עם העיתונאי הגרמני, שכנראה יודע יותר ממני על ההיסטוריה של משפחתי.
The building will be finished up to the end of this year, and we want to set up Stolpersteine for the people who lived there. I asked her if there is a possibility to make a connection with your family, but there was no possibility. We can meet for a beer.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. We're on our way now.
In the files is a 6-room flat. And when they left Berlin, they have to leave everything in the flat, all the furniture, all the clothes, and this is written here.
I have a lot of correspondence from his parents to him throughout the war. Here we go. This, you can see, is a postcard from Zimmerstrasse.
Oh, yes.
At this point, my father is in England, and this is from his brother in Berlin. And what will interest you most of all are these pictures.
Oh, yes.
Which are on their balcony at home.
Amalie and Jacob, yes?
Yes. Happy times. They look so happy.
Yes.
I have no idea. This is my father. Yeah, this is 1936. So my father is 13 here. Yeah.
Amazing. No one with a lot of photos. It's amazing, really.
כמעט 80 שנה לאחר שעלה למסכים בקולנוע הזה ממש, תיאמנו מראש הקרנה מיוחדת שבה נצפה לראשונה ב-UD זיס, הסרט שביים דודו של מנואל וייט הרלן, שבגלל עשייתו נשפט על פשעים נגד האנושות, ושעד היום נאסר להקרנה הציבורית.
Sagt Herzog, wenn er mich braucht, dann soll er mir auch die Permission verschaffen, zu ihm zu kommen.
Was soll ich tun, Rabbi? Er hast in ihr Palast wie Salomo.
Er Gott, ich verstehe das aber nicht.
Er versteht.
Rühre mich nicht an!
Löse sich doch nicht. Dann kannst du dein Aktuarius fragen.
Aufhören! Aufhören! Also gehört jeder von meinem Souverän! Lasst mir mein Leben! Ich will leben! Leben will ich! Leben!
So, what did you think?
Well, there's nothing like actually seeing something rather than talking about it for years and years. It's amazing how in how many different ways I've imagined this film to be. And then, as I read about it, as I looked at interviews, I became more and more convinced that maybe this was something much more subtle. This was actually maybe even a good piece of filmmaking with a subtle message. And so, starting to read Veit's autobiography, I thought, okay, maybe he really worked hard to, to sort of, soften this and to oppress the message. Looking at it, it's just appalling. I mean, it's just the most, disgusting. I'm gobsmacked. I'm gobsmacked at what a crude piece of anti-Semitic horror it is. It's really, I'm just. As a German, you spend your life asking yourself, how could it have happened? How could this have been done? How can I relate to the sort of people who did this? Because that seemed to be interesting to explore how this could maybe happen to anyone. Now that I've seen the film, this is not somebody I can in any way recognize. I cannot make any kind of relationship with a person who can make a film like this. Do you know what I mean?